Hey, Mr. Jones, did you hear that the Senate just confirmed Kash Patel as the new FBI director?
Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of a big deal, right? Patel's a pretty controversial figure, especially with his ties to Trump and his outspoken criticism of the FBI. It's surprising, honestly, that the Senate went ahead with this confirmation.
I know, right? He's not exactly the first person you'd think of to lead the FBI, given his history. He's been super critical of the agency in the past, especially during the whole Russia investigation. And now he's going to be in charge of it? It feels like a pretty big shift in tone for the Bureau.
It's definitely a shift. I mean, if you look at his past, he's been one of Trump's staunchest defenders, and it seemed like he was often at odds with the FBI, particularly around the investigation into Trump's campaign. So now, as FBI director, he's expected to restore trust and credibility to the agency, but will he?
That's the real question. He's already made a name for himself as someone who's critical of the FBI's handling of certain investigations. He's called out things like the Russia probe and even the handling of Hillary Clinton's emails. Now, suddenly, he's expected to be the face of that same agency? That seems like a pretty difficult position to be in.
Exactly. It feels like he's got a lot of bridges to rebuild. A big part of being the FBI director is maintaining public trust in the agency, especially when it comes to investigations involving high profile figures. And Patel's past comments could really create a credibility issue for him, even within the Bureau itself.
Yeah, there's also the fact that some people are going to question his independence. Can he truly be objective when he's so politically entrenched? That's got to be a concern for a lot of people, both inside the FBI and in the general public.
For sure. And don't forget, he's stepping into this role in the middle of ongoing political tensions, especially with how investigations into public figures like Trump are still fresh in people's minds. People are going to be watching him very closely to see if he really is impartial.
Right. There's also the aspect of leadership style. Being an FBI director requires navigating so many different aspects of law enforcement, intelligence, and public accountability. It's not just about enforcing the law, but also about setting a tone for how the agency handles sensitive cases. Will Patel be able to do that, especially with all the scrutiny he's under?
That's the big unknown here. On one hand, he's got experience with intelligence and national security, so there's a certain level of expertise there. But on the other hand, he spent so much time as a partisan figure. Can he transition into a neutral role? The whole thing could go in so many different directions.
Yeah. And the fact that the Senate confirmed him despite all of this controversy just shows how deeply divided things are politically right now. It almost feels like a symbolic choice, rather than one based on neutral qualifications. It'll be interesting to see if he can change perceptions once he takes office.
It definitely will. I guess we'll have to wait and see how he handles the actual job. If he can show that he's capable of leading the FBI without letting politics get in the way, maybe some of the doubts will fade. But that's a huge if.
Yeah, a lot of eyes are going to be on him. I think the next few months will really tell us a lot about his leadership and how the FBI operates under him.
Totally. It's a tough position to be in for sure. We'll see how he does.
That's it for this story. Check back soon for more stories and conversations like this.